Police officers are charged with protecting the people, maintaining the law, and providing honorable and honest service to their communities. However, the repercussions can be severe and widespread when officers violate that trust and take part in corrupt practices. In this video, we'll look at several notorious instances of police misconduct and analyze how they affected society. So, let's get going. You've probably heard of police officers accepting bribes, but have you ever heard of the team's most popular officer being dishonest and carrying out his evil schemes in such a covert manner that not even his department is aware of it? So, how did he end up in custody? If you haven't heard of something similar, allow us to inform you that Sergeant Wayne Jenkins was a victim of it. A smart, crooked policeman. Sergeant Wayne Jenkins' eyes darted from screen to screen, sifting over the CCTV footage in the dimly lit city headquarters of the Baltimore Police Department. 2015's that day saw streets filled with boiling rage. On the west side of the city, police officers were being attacked with bricks. Some were hurt. Jenkins hurried after them. In the midst of shouting, sirens, and buzzing helicopters, he seized a state prison department van and helped pull injured cops inside. When it was near Druid Hill Park, he intervened in the conflict and instructed the detective to take them to the hospital. A drug-dealing bail bondsman was awoken from his slumber several hours later in a peaceful waterfront district 15 miles east of the city center. His supplier required the disposal of 2 garbage bags full of prescription medications stolen from people who had also robbed pharmacy. Fresh after his heroic deeds in West Baltimore, Jenkins showed up. He opened the trunk and carried the pills inside the garage. After the bondsman handled selling them, the police sergeant and the latter would split the proceeds. Wayne Jenkins was living 2 lives at a time. He was already well known for running aggressive street squads at the age of 34. Later, he was in charge of the prestigious Gun Trace Task Force, one of the Baltimore Police Department's most effective tools for combating violent crime. He also served as the commanding officer of a team of police officers who engaged in robberies and narcotics trafficking. Jenkins and 6 members of his gun task force were charged with federal racketeering in March 2017, which shocked Baltimore. Many robberies, extortion, and overtime fraud were all allegedly committed by a group of seasoned police officers. Following the shooting death of Freddie Gray, long-standing mistrust of the police among many Baltimore residents grew. But the breadth and depth of these accusations were astounding. The Gun Trace Task Force was well known within the police force for its accomplishments in seizing alleged drug dealers, their caches, and their illicit weaponry. Jenkins was developing a reputation as a policeman in the division whose aggressive approach got results. His reputation as a cowboy who broke big cases through a frenetic pace of citizen stops and occasionally supplied evidence pointing up a chain of drug dealers was generally positive among current and former police officers. Jenkins, who had been praised as a rising talent by department leadership and rank-and-file officers early in his career, was a leader with a remarkable flair for delivering the goods. For his assistance in the 2009 recovery of 41 kilograms of cocaine, worth $1 million hidden in a man's truck at the time, it was touted as the largest cocaine seizure in the division's record. This was only one of Jenkins' numerous huge seizures. Did you know that Jenkins was awarded a Bronze Star for this huge achievement? Although it may seem strange, the Baltimore Police Department did not experience any instances of a police officer receiving both praise and criticism. In the world, Wayne Jenkins and his colleagues in plainclothes lived in success and wrongdoing were not mutually exclusive. In fact, they occasionally seemed to go hand in hand. A year-long investigation by the Baltimore Sun turned up warning signs that Wayne Jenkins wasn't a reliable policeman. His supervisors and others either failed to see the warning indications or choose to ignore them. Between 2006 and 2009, Jenkins was the subject of at least 4 lawsuits that claimed misconduct. 3 of them resulted in the plaintiff's victories, either as a result of jury verdicts or the city's decision to settle the case. The suits, however, had no internal repercussions for the police agency. Despite the lawsuits and subsequent video evidence from the squad's body cameras, Jenkins' supervisors did not review the arrests he was making. His legal defenses regularly failed in court, despite the fact that he was removing criminal suspects off the streets. 2014 saw the delivery of a surveillance video to the state's attorney's office in Baltimore's Police Integrity Division that seemed to show Jenkins perhaps putting drugs in a suspect's car. Authorities investigated the matter and even presented evidence to a grand jury, but finally determined that there wasn't enough proof to warrant an indictment. The same video reportedly led to a rare police department disciplinary probe against Jenkins, who was accused of misbehavior internally in 2015. This information comes from a copy of the case file that the Sun reviewed. The investigators proposed Jenkins be demoted and placed on paid leave, according to the department's then Internal Affairs Chief, Daryl DeSalsa, who was the deputy commissioner at the time, allegedly intervened to halt the penalty. DeSalsa denies remembering the encounter, despite having later served as a commissioner and currently being in jail on federal tax charges, before being named in 2016 to lead the Gun Trace Task Force, one of the most recognized plainclothes teams in the police. These allegations of misconduct were made while Jenkins was serving in a number of plainclothes units, a long time before he was appointed. It is hardly surprising that Jenkins' greatest crimes, drug trafficking and robberies, were able to flourish in Baltimore's tolerant plainclothes culture, even if they seem to have been kept secret. These devices regularly operated unattended. They were free to hold and release suspects, as well as develop informants. They sometimes discreetly stepped over the line from aggressive policing to violating civil rights. When Jenkins first started stealing is unknown. In 2011, his first theft was reported. By the time his criminal career had completely taken off, it had already involved high-profile robberies and break-ins, and he was making over $170,000 per year, in part due to overtime fraud. To learn more about their activities, the Sun obtained thousands of pages of court records, dozens of body camera recordings, hundreds of emails from the police department, and a small number of internal files. A reporter also viewed court case recordings pertaining to the arrests of the cops. Over 50 people were questioned, including victims, prosecutors, defense attorneys, and current and former police officers. Jenkins allegedly robbed some of the defense attorney's clients. According to some of the attorneys, the bulk of his co-workers, including the police and prosecutors, told the Sun they were not aware that he and his policemen were involved in any illicit behavior. A drug associate alleged that Jenkins had been gathering narcotics off the street and profiting from their illicit sale for years before he was finally found guilty following an FBI investigation. Prior to joining the Gun Trace Task Force in 2016, some of his colleagues have also acknowledged stealing after an FBI investigation into the unit revealed the crimes committed by the GATF, Jenkins, and a number of other team members were taken into custody by federal agents. In June 2018, Jenkins was sentenced to 25 years in federal prison after entering a guilty plea to charges of racketeering, robbery, and record-keeping fraud. Corrupt police officers damage the reputation of their fellow officers who obey the law and honorably and devotedly serve their community. They damage the reputation of the entire police force and make it harder for honorable officers to carry out their duties efficiently. The integrity of the judiciary and law enforcement is threatened by corruption, an immoral and unlawful practice. In addition to breaking the law, corrupt police officers damage the public's faith by taking bribes, covering up crimes, or employing excessive force. Furthermore, dishonest police officers can cause harm to innocent people by infringing on their civil rights, making false arrests, and acting abusively. This can result in erroneous convictions, the demise of the rule of law, and a loss of confidence on the part of the general people in the competence of the legal system to uphold their rights and interests. Public safety is compromised, and the rule of law is weakened by corrupt police officers. They undermine public trust in the police and foster an atmosphere of impunity where criminals feel free to act without consequence because they know that some police officers can be purchased or intimidated. What conclusions have you drawn from Jenkins' tale? Do you have any additional examples of dishonest police officers who were punished? If so, please tell us in the comments section.
Saying y'all can't sell.
I don't want to be filmed, so I'm going to ask you to leave.
Hours later.
How you doing?
She kind of filled me in on what was going on. Did she explain to you that they can't sell baby formula once they return it?
After she already did.
Okay. It's time to go.
So if it's
and you're
against
banned
the law.
from here. They don't want you back in here.
Okay.
So if you come back, what's your name?
You don't need my name.
Oh yeah, I do.
You sure you know the law?
Yes, sir. I think I know the law.
Okay.
In this incident, a citizen engaged in a heated encounter with two police officers over his refusal to provide his identification. The encounter began when the officers approached the individual and asked for his name. The citizen, asserting his knowledge of the law, questioned the officer's authority to request his identification without reasonable cause.
So what's happening?
I really don't want to talk about it now because
That's fine.
you
I've been what?
you breaking my constitutional rights, sir.
Oh, I am. Okay.
I promise you are.
Okay.
But I just like you don't want to explain to me, I'm not gonna teach you. You should already know these things. So
The younger officer, seemingly more informed about citizens' rights, attempted to explain to the older officer why the individual was not legally obligated to provide his name.
They'll try to get you to put your hands on them. They'll try to get you to put them in custody. I know, Pete. Just listen.
But if he called it a disturbance,
I understand completely. But their goal
Get
is
his name.
their goal is they want
check
to
him for
sue.
warrant.
no, you're breaking my constitutional rights
goal is they
by
want to
threatening
sue.
to take me to jail for not giving you my name when I haven't committed a crime.
The citizen expressed his frustration with the older officer for attempting to infringe upon his constitutional rights and accusing him of breaking the law.
See, you're the one wanting to cause trouble, not me.
No, I don't. I would have just left. But you thought I didn't know what I was talking about. You thought you was just gonna break my constitutional
They wanted
rights.
you gone. I want to ban you. I want to run your
That's
ID.
fine.
and check
I
you
ain't
for
broke a law,
warrants
though.
And then let you go.
I ain't
but
broke-
since now you want to stay and you want to wait for my supervisor to come and talk to you, we gonna stay here and we're gonna wait on him.
He gonna come talk to you.
Okay.
He ain't
All right.
coming to talk to me,
We
buddy.
gonna talk to you.
All right.
The younger officer acknowledged the citizen's concerns and emphasized the importance of de-escalation. As the conversation unfolded, the older officer initially insisted that the citizen was being detained and would have to wait for a supervisor. However, once the younger officer clarified that the citizen was not required to show his ID, the older officer changed his stance and expressed a desire to leave. The citizen pointed out the inconsistency in the officer's behavior, highlighting how the officer had initially claimed he was being detained but now was ready to depart.
He came in and barged in on me like I don't know my rights and I ain't got none at all. So
But you know, there's constitutional rights, there's federal law, and then you got state law.
nothing
too,
trumps
right?
those constitutional rights, sir. Nothing. You should know that.
Okay.
Just in case you have to, just in case you lose your badge,
I got you.
you should understand that your constitutional rights.
Hey, if you got
That's
me
top
here,
dog, buddy.
you got me here, you got me here. But guess
But
what?
you've been nice, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate you. I promise, man.
So
Good
can I-
energy,
Can I
man.
ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Have I been ugly?
Have you got any money yet?
Any money?
Yeah.
Plenty.
From suing?
Nah, I don't need to do that.
So you have?
Nah, I don't need
Okay.
to.
How was I not nice?
I asked him, man. I
Did I
didn't.
ask you your name?
Hey, it's all good.
I-
I'm not
nah,
worried about it. Pete, yeah.
Ask him. He told me I was resisting arrest in front of all
Never
these,
told you that.
in front of all these people in
You
Walmart,
said,
as if
"Why
I'm a
do I have
criminal,
to give
man.
your name?" I
I
said,
was like, man, come on, man. But did you not tell me I had to give you my name?
Huh?
Did you not tell me I had to give you
Well,
my
I said
name?
you needed
So
to.
here's
No,
what
you
I'm-
said you had to
Yeah,
give me.
here's what
I
I'm
had to
thinking.
give you my name.
It's hot. I'm gonna sit in my beautiful AC car.
Man, you
while we
blessed,
wait on
man.
my
I got to stand out here and wait on the supervisor, man. It is hot.
The conversation continued with discussions about constitutional rights and the role of law enforcement in protecting the public. The citizen asserted that his constitutional rights were more significant than any potential disturbance at a Walmart store, referencing his right to privacy and freedom from unwarranted searches or detentions. The officers defended their actions, citing a disturbance at the store as the reason for their inquiry.
Because I got stuff I got to do, but you
No,
got me detained now.
well-
So we got each other detained.
Well, you should have
He's on his
came
way.
in.
You talk to him, and then I'm out of here.
You should have came with a de-escalating spirit and not the one you in.
Okay. Okay.
You on camera. Unlawful detainment. For what? For what?
Causing a disturbance in Walmart.
I ain't caused no disturbance. I was as quiet as
wasn't here,
a
but
mouse
that's what
standing
they
right
called
there.
us. When you look on my call,
It's on camera.
The signal on the call says a 25, which is a disturbance.
Does that camera lie? Neither does mine.
That's right.
You
I
understand?
wasn't here when the disturbance was going on.
You didn't care to be here. You could have got my
Because they
side.
probably have cameras on the whole
You could have
thing.
got my side.
Tried to.
No, you didn't.
But you just want to
It's
talk
on
about
camera.
constitutional rights.
Right.
And you want to talk about pot stirring stuff because you're trying to stir a pot.
My constitutional rights is more important than you trespassing me from Walmart for something you ain't even discussed amongst us.
Yeah.
This
I
is
just
a
asked you what your name was.
This is a private owned business.
asked you what your name
I'm the
was.
public.
How is it wrong for me
I'll
to
pay
ask
you.
what your name is?
I'll pay you.
How is it?
I live right around the corner. You just ran my
my
name.
name on here.
You just ran
how
my
is it
name.
wrong
I'll
for me
pay
to
my
ask you?
taxes that pay you.
Throughout the interaction, tensions escalated, with the citizen becoming increasingly frustrated with what he perceived as a violation of his rights. The encounter concluded with the arrival of a supervisor who took over the situation. The citizen expressed his desire to have his side of the story heard, but the conversation reached an impasse as the officers maintained their position.
Presley, badge number is 167.
Thank you, sir. He just broke my
wants to talk.
constitutional right.
Okay. How's that?
Under the threat of arrest, he told me I had to give him my name and I hadn't broken the law.
Yeah. Well,
I just want you to explain to him that
The incident raises questions about the officers' understanding of citizens' rights and their handling of the situation. The citizen argued that his rights were being violated, while the officers defended their actions based on the reported disturbance. The encounter highlights the need for better training and awareness of constitutional rights among law enforcement personnel to ensure the citizens' rights are respected and protected during interactions with police. A police officer was fired for apologizing to an Army sergeant. The incident escalated in a nearby cafe when the officer and sergeant argued over a misunderstanding. As tensions rose, the cop recognized his error and apologized.
Hello. You know who that is? No. Who's your girlfriend or your baby mama? Lady right here.
First of all, that's my wife.
Okay. Okay.
Who are y'all looking for?
The apology was his downfall, as the cops cited a policy violation for expressing weakness. The officer's termination has divided the community, with some applauding his openness to accept mistakes and others arguing that the department must maintain discipline. The event illustrates the delicate balance between law enforcement responsibility and expectations.
Investigate. Right there. 9 years U.S. Army. Now, what's the problem?
Okay. What's your first name?
I don't have to identify myself to you, do I? Am I under investigation? You want to tell me what's going on?
What is it? Can you confirm the address?
No, she can't come out there. Y'all need to tell me what's going on. This is my house. Don't.
Copy. They're advising that this is not the right address. All right, ma'am. Ma'am?
Y'all violating my rights right now.
Actually, we're not, dude.
Yes, you are, because
No,
you're
we're
not
not.
telling me. No,
Okay.
that is
Okay.
as I said it to you.
Listen to me, dude. We're not violating your rights.
You are.
How?
Because
Which right? Which civil right are we violating?
Why are you raising your
We're
voice?
not violating
Why is he raising
anything,
his voice?
okay?
Why is he raising
So
his
we
voice?
are here on
Are you
a
threatening
welfare
me?
check.
An urgent call from the local medical center about a poisoning incident disturbed the solemn atmosphere at the police department on May 10th, 2020. The officers rushed to the scene, their expressions furrowed with concern. The medical institution received a frightened patient with symptoms of purposeful poisoning. The detectives and medical professionals methodically gathered evidence to solve the case. They remained concentrated as the situation grew severe, reflecting their dedication to finding the truth. The tragedy highlighted the community's issues and law enforcement's vital role in protecting the people of the city.
What's his problem?
Okay.
Nah, I need your badge numbers. I'm sorry.
That's fine. I'll give you
sorry.
my badge number. But so the reason we're here is to
Now
make
you're
sure
telling me the
somebody is
reason after you told me to
okay.
eat it. Sir. So you told me to eat it, right? Marler?
I messed up. I apologize.
Now that you on film, you messed up. So
you did
you
report.
haven't violated any of my
No.
rights.
No,
The
sir.
first thing you said to me coming here was,
So,
is
sir.
that my baby mama or my girlfriend?
Sir,
Then he
so
started
we
raising
were
his
called
voice
to
at
call
me.
from North Bay.
Pause. I need your name and your badge number.
Officer Conma, 107.
Thank you. I need your name and your badge
Officer
number.
Marler 102.
And she's at my window. I told you not to go to my window. Close the blinds.
Do you have a 14-year-old son?
Close the blinds.
Hold on, sir.
Close the blinds.
Sir, do you have a 14-year-old son?
Close the blinds.
Tiffany Canoma and Cody Marler responded to a distress call at Army Sergeant Sarah Hawkins' home. Arriving at the scene, they found a well-kept suburban home with tension. Alarming neighbors reported loud noises and conversations. As they neared the front door, they glanced around, mentally preparing for anything. Sergeant Hawkins gingerly opened the door, her look a mix of apprehension and relief. The cops introduced themselves and promised to assist and protect her. They found strewn items and emotional disturbance within. Kanoma and Marler calmly explained the matter to the sergeant with empathy. The presence and competence gave Sergeant Hawkins a sense of security.
Marler.
My property.
Marler.
I don't give. You were probably a piece. If you served and you telling people to eat, you probably was a piece.
All right.
You can get out of here. That's what you can do, Marler. You.
Okay. Let me explain, because we may have been.
You told me.
Can I explain to you?
The conversation revealed that their quick response had diffused a potentially developing scenario, emphasizing the importance of law enforcement in maintaining community peace. As cops yelled at Sergeant Hawkins, the precinct was tense. Raised voices and colorful language broke the customary decorum as the precinct walls seemed to absorb the intense argument. Officer Marler, who violated department regulations, was the focus of this verbal altercation.
And our dispatch. So we got a call that we need to. Okay, a 3-year-old was brought into the hospital because she ingested nail polish remover. Okay?
We don't know anything about any of that.
And that is absolutely fine. So this just got a little out of hand.
But you don't come to somebody's house and say, that's your baby, I'm your girlfriend. You
right,
like
and I completely understand that.
You're supposed to be professional.
I'm trying my best to be professional.
You're doing fine. But that guy, I don't know what side of the bed he woke up on. Put yourself in my shoes. 2 cops knock on your door. Boom, boom, boom. I'm in there having a good time with my wife of 5 years.
Marler was chastised by Sergeant Hawkins, known for the strict discipline, for his unprofessional language and behavior. This incident revealed a wide rift between the seasoned officer and his colleagues, showing how a law enforcement unit's values and expectations clash. The precinct was forever changed by the incident, which stressed the need for following departmental procedures and remaining professional even in stressful times. Officer Marler has apologized for his recent behavior, which gained public notice and sparked concerns.
So,
y'all want me to quote what statute you guys are violating? I'm not one of those people, but I'm pretty sure I can go on Google and see if
we have every right to be here to check on somebody, and you have the right to Google us and make sure.
So you have the right to be here and check on somebody, right?
Yes.
Did I have to come out my door?
You did not. We needed to come check.
The formal statement apologized for any discomfort and pledged to uphold law enforcement's highest standards. The government soon issued a statement recognizing the occurrence. The statement stressed the necessity of following a stringent code of conduct and their commitment to ethics and professionalism. It also informed the public that internal measures will be implemented to resolve the issue and prevent repeat accidents. This reinforces the department's commitment to building trust and respect between officers and the community they serve by emphasizing law enforcement transparency and accountability. Loveland Police's wrongful arrest of Karen Gardner has outraged the community and beyond. On June 26, 2020, cops apprehended and confined 73-year-old dementia patient Garner for trying to exit a Walmart without paying $13.88. The officer's wrist lock and shoulder pressure caused Garner to dislocate her shoulder, break her arm, and other injuries. Later publication of body camera footage fueled public fury. The incident emphasizes the necessity for law enforcement mental health training and awareness. The Loveland Police Department was criticized for its response, prompting calls for accountability and reform. 73-year-old Garner, whose dementia affected her memory, was confused in Walmart's fluorescent aisles. She stumbled toward the exit with a few unpaid things, her wrinkled brows showing her diminishing awareness. The store security guards gently intercepted Gardner, seeing the weakness in her eyes. An understanding staffer guided her back to the checkout amid the chaos. Gardner's brief attempt to disappear revealed her dementia and the difficulty memory loss causes. Officer Austin Hopp responded quickly to the emergency call. He fought Gardner and restrained her with determination. Hopp used controlled power and professional urgency to control the issue. The intense interaction highlighted law enforcement's challenges in preserving public safety in complex and possibly dangerous situations.
And before that, you tried to steal from Walmart. And they caught you and took the stuff back. Stand up. Oh, boy.
I'm not going.
Why are you fighting with me? And why are you trying to slip the cuffs off?
I'm going home.
Stop.
I'm going home.
No, you're not. Are you finished? Are you finished? We don't play this game. You understand me? If you try to kick me, oh, this is gonna be bad.
I'm going home.
Stop.
I'm going home. I'm going home.
Officer Daria Hilali arrived with nervous anticipation. As she approached, her stern face showed determination. The situation escalated quickly when both police appeared to use excessive force when arresting Garner. Their unrelenting activities put doubt on the incident's legality and raised questions about the police department's use of power. They watched in surprise, increasing their concern as the interaction developed, and the tragedy raised important questions regarding police training and responsibility, prompting a reevaluation of public safety practices.
Get in the car.
In you go.
Do not hook onto him.
I'll come on the other side and grab it. What's that?
Where's your sergeant?
Who's my sergeant?
Yeah.
Okay, well, first, I can tell you that. Sergeant Metzler, he's at the police department. You can go talk to him if you have an issue.
Yeah, give me your car so I can put a report.
Okay.
I see you there, how you throw the little kid.
Little kid?
Well, I don't know.
He's not
if
a little
kid.
kid. And this
he
is what happened.
He was just walking, and I see you how
So
you
just
grab him.
Stole from Walmart.
Officers ignored mental health regulations when treating Gardner. Their unwillingness to recognize Gardner's condition violated vital policies protecting vulnerable people. A regretful and avoidable escalation occurred due to her mental illness being ignored. Law enforcement might have avoided this tragedy with better training and mental health knowledge, underscoring the need for better awareness and protocol when dealing with mentally ill people. After the disturbing occurrence, Loveland settled with Garner for $3 million.
The whole situation, that's the thing.
Yeah, you know, but it's like...
But knowing the situation, do you feel differently now?
Oh, yeah. But
That's
you know,
it.
like seeing it from there, that guy just walking.
Yeah, I get that.
Know?
I get that. So when I went to go grab her and talk to her, she started running, leaving, pulling away from me, trying to fight me.
Well, that's the thing. I didn't see it running, you know.
Exactly. So before you go to a snap judgment, you gotta get all the facts.
But right here, she wasn't running.
I get that.
I see her walking right there. You pull over.
I gotta deal with this. You hang tight, okay?
Get your feet in the car.
The city's decision shows its commitment to restitution. The settlement honors Garner's experience and takes accountability and justice forward. This shows the power of fairness and transparency in difficult situations. The agreement stresses the city's commitment to healing and progress by making the neighborhood safer and more inclusive. ATF agent James Burke's arrest shocked law enforcement. The episode, which was quite intense, involved corruption and power abuse. The agency's reputation was tarnished by the arrest. Once admired, Burke now confronts legal challenges and public criticism. The incident emphasizes the necessity for law enforcement accountability and transparency to reestablish public trust. As the judicial proceedings continue, doubts about Burke's activities and their impact on other cases remain.
Get on the ground! Get on the ground now! Get on the ground! Get on the ground now!
I'm a federal agent.
917-110-3.
I'm a federal agent.
Get on the ground!
I'm a federal agent.
Why wouldn't you show me your ID when I got here? Don't move forward.
You didn't ask for it.
Get on the ground. We'll figure it out.
Columbus police officers Joseph Fiji and Kevin Winchell arrived at a disturbance with seasoned vigilance. The darkly lit alley with its muffled bustle was illuminated by the flickering street light. They advanced with solid steps and quick looks to assure safety. Both cops showed determination and prudence, demonstrating their years of service. As they approached, anxiety grew, preparing to reveal the nighttime mystery. Agent Burke automatically reached for his federal badge as he stepped forward to assert his authority. Officer Fiji's gruff voice ordered him to the ground despite his clean suit and confident posture. Burke's jaw tightened as he analyzed the situation, his badge gleaming between the need to show his credentials and the officer's demand. His eyes flickered before he complied, a planned move to defuse the conflict and balance power and cooperation. Federal and local law enforcement jurisdictions are different yet linked. The FBI and DEA have jurisdiction over cross-state matters in federal legislation. They handle terrorism, organized crime, and narcotics trafficking. Police and sheriffs in counties and municipalities address crimes within their boundaries. Law enforcement requires collaboration between various institutions to ensure public safety while respecting their authority and legal frameworks. Agent Burke's defiance changed when Officer Fiji, resolute and determined, led with a charged taser.
The car! Why would you make us do this?
I didn't want you to. I wanted to. Wait.
No, you knew what you were doing.
Sir, calm down.
Relax.
Sir, hey, guys, please, just talk to me for 1 second, please.
Get in the car.
No,
we'll
wait.
talk later.
Sir, wait.
You had your chance.
No, I was trying to give you my creds. You didn't let me show them to you.
Never once tried.
I did.
Get in the car.
Wait.
Now!
Have a seat. Please, wait. I gotta breathe.
Okay,
please,
you
sir,
can,
let
you
me
can
breathe.
sit down and breathe.
Let me breathe. I have a medical condition.
We're gonna get air to you. Get
No,
your legs
no.
in. Get your
Sir.
legs in. We're closing this door.
Sir,
Get your legs in.
I need air. Sir, please, call an ambulance. I'm asking for an
We
ambulance.
got a medic coming. Get in the car.
Officer Fiji's vigor and determination seemed to melt Burke's resistance. Tense expectancy lingered before Burke's determined posture broke free. Burke's submission was unavoidable due to the overwhelming force. The scene was filled with relief and submission as the taser stopped, ending Officer Fiji's determination and Agent Burke's defiance. Agent Burke reportedly conducted a firearm follow-up at the scene. The Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Weapons, and Explosives, or the ATF, enforced federal weapons, explosives, arson, and alcohol and tobacco trafficking statutes in this case. The ATF's role assures strict firearm distribution and use regulation. As the operation proceeds, Agent Burke's involvement and the ATF's goals will become clearer, revealing their efforts to protect public safety and federal regulations. The complainant's unwillingness to open the door reflected their Fourth Amendment attitude. They refused the authorities' admission request, citing the Constitution's ban on unreasonable searches. This principled approach highlighted the fragile balance between individual liberty and police enforcement. As anxiety rose, the scene captured the spirit of the Fourth Amendment, demonstrating the importance of private rights in a security-conscious culture. The stalemate reminded citizens that democracy relies on their vigilance in maintaining their constitutional rights. Agent Burke sued Columbus officers federally for excessive force and injury. The lawsuit alleges that cops used excessive force and caused significant harm during a recent incident. Burke, a devoted law enforcement officer, argues the cops' actions were unnecessary and civil rights violations. Burke's situation epitomizes police misconduct and accountability debates. As the judicial procedures progress, attention shifts to law enforcement practices and the national debate on police use of force.